Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Piyusha Singh, and we are here to present a case study on corporate accounting fraud by Satyam Computers Limited. The topics we are going to cover under this case are, please change the slide, Anvesh. Introduction, Satyam scandal, auditor's role, factors contributed to fraud, aftermath, investigation, corporate governance, lesson learned, and conclusion. Starting with the introduction. Starting with introduction. The increasing rate of white collar crimes demands stiff penalties, exemplary punishments, and effective enforcement of law with the right spirit. An attempt is made to examine and analyze in depth the Satyam Computers creative accounting scandal, which brought to limelight the importance of ethics and corporate governance. The fraud committed by the founder of Satyam 2009. Before going further, I just want to explain what is fraud. According to Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, fraud is a deception of misrepresentation that an individual or entity makes knowing that misrepresentation could result in some unauthorized benefit to the individual or to the entity or some other party. In other words, mistakes are not fraud. Indeed, in fraud, groups of unscrupulous individuals manipulate or influence the activities of the target business with intentions of making money or obtaining goods through illegal or unfair means. Ironically, Satyam means truth in ancient Indian language Sanskrit, but Satyam Computers did the exact opposite of its name. Satyam Computer Services Limited was formed by Mr. Ramalinga Raju in the year 1987. The company was offering outsourcing services both in the field of information technology and business processing. This was a Hyderabad based company which gradually became a global name. The company was known worldwide for its innovation, governance, and accountability. With its efficiency and goodwill, the company became an IT giant in the global market, and by the year 2008, it gained a worth of $2.1 billion. Dollars. Over the time, founder and former chairman of the company received many honors for his work and corporate governance. Now, who is Mr. Ramalinga Raju? Ramalinga Raju is the former chairman and CEO of Satyam Computer Services from 1987 till 7th January 2009. He was born on 16th September 1954 to a farming family, and he has received many awards in the field of business. Achievements received by Satyam Computers and Mr. Ramalinga Raju are: in 2007, Ernest and Young awarded Mr. Raju with Entrepreneur of the Year award. On April 14, 2008, Satyam won awards from MZ Consults for being a leader in India in corporate governance and accountability. And in September 2008, the World Council for Corporate Governance awarded Satyam with the Global Peacock Award for Global Excellence in Corporate Accountability. Now, coming to accounting fraud. The fraud was unveiled when the founder and former chairman, Mr. Raju.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have points about this Satyam fraud? So
Yes,
you
sir. Yes,
can
sir. I'm just going to.
come to directly because we have already discussed about what is fraud, what is Satyam meaning, what does Sanskrit says, what Hindi says. You know,
Okay,
just
sir. Okay.
just come to the point only.
Okay, sir. The fraud was unveiled when the founder and former chairman, Mr. Raju, disclosed such practices to the board of directors of the company through a letter in which he has stated that he has been manipulating the accounting numbers of the company for several years. The timeline of the scandal was from 16th December 2008 to 7th January 2009. In this period, Satyam announced to buy the stakes of Meta's infrastructure, but then Satyam has to call off the Meta's deal because of investor revolt. And on 7th January 2009, Mr. Ramalinga Raju wrote a letter and confessed that he has committed fraud, and that was the day when the scandal was completely disclosed. Uh, Greed for money, power, competition, success, and prestige compelled Mr. Raju to ride the tiger, which led to violation of all the duties imposed on them as fiduciaries. the duty of care, the duty of negligence, the duty of loyalty, the duty of disclosure towards the stakeholders. The Satyam scandal is the classic case of negligence fiduciary duties, total collapse of ethical standards, and lack of corporate social responsibilities. It is human greed and desire that led to fraud. Now, my friend Divya will take this presentation further.
Hello, I am Divya Singh and I would like to tell you about the Satyam scandal. The Satyam Computer scandal was a corporate scandal affecting India-based company Satyam Computer Services in 2019, in which chairman Ramalinga Raju confessed that the company's account had been falsified. On January 7, 2009, Ramalingam Raju disclosed in a letter to the board of a director that he had been manipulating the companies to range from the 2003 to 2008. Mr. Ramalinga Raju claimed that he overstated assets on the Satyam balance sheet by 1.47 million billion, nearly 1.04 billion in the bank loan, and the cash that the company claimed to the own was non-existence on the Satyam, also unreported reported its liabilities. Mr. Raju revealed that he created 6,000 fake salary accounts over the past few years and appropriated the money after the company deposited it. According to Investor Protection and the Redressal Forum, Investment Bank DSP Merrill Lynch, which was appointed by the Satyam to look for a partner or a buyer for the company, ultimately below the whistle and the terminated its engagement with the company soon after it found financial irregulation. After that, Raju confessed that Satyam's balance sheet of September 30, 2008 contained the following irregularities. He faked figures to the extent of a 5,040 crore of a non-extant cash and the bank balance as against to 5,361 crore in the books occurred. Interest of the 376 crore understand liabilities of a 1230 crore and the account of a funds raised by a Raju and an overstated debtors position of a 490. He accepted that Satyam had reported revenue 2700 crore and operating margin of a 649 crore while the actual revenue was a 2112 crore and the margin was a 61 crore. In the next slide, as the part of the tunneling strategy, the Satyam promoters had substantially reduced their holding in a company from 25.6% in March in 2001 to 8.74% in March 2008. Furthermore, as the promoter held a very small percentage of the equity on December 2008, as shown in a graph, the concern was that poor performance would result in a takeover bid, thereby closing the gap. Now, my friend Soumya will continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. So I will going to explain about the analysis of the auditor's role. From June 2000 to until discovery of fraud, that is in year 2009, a firm PricewaterhouseCoopers, that is PwC, which is globally auditing from many companies, was also auditing Satyam books and all financial statements. It affiliates served as independent auditor of Satyam Computer Services when the report of scandal in the account books of Satyam Computer Service broke. Many different analysis analysis to find the truth behind this fraud. Indeed, PwC signed Satyam's financial statements and was also responsible for this fraud. But according to accounting professional, companies who have a good brand name have either invested money in interest bearing account or returned to excess cash to shareholders. But from this auditors cash is in red flag or in danger side, we can say. But but this appears that the auditors did not confirm the bank balances independently. The auditors did not verify cash and bank balances and transaction from beginning to end. Satyam fraud manipulated both balance sheet and income statements whenever they need to show that they created fictitious and auditors but auditors also ignored the fake invoices, which shows auditors are also involved in Satyam fraud. Suspiciously, Satyam also paid double income to PwC than other firm would charge them. For example, if a company is paying 1 lakh to PwC, then the Satyam was paying 2 lakh to them. And Merrill Lynch discovered the fraud within 10 days by seeing those red flags were missing, which appear PwC is involved in Satyam fraud. But initially PwC was not accepting that their fault, but they were saying that they perform all the applicable auditing standard. Multiple factors contributed to the Satyam fraud. The independent board members of Satyam, the institutional investor community, the SEBI, retail investor, and the external auditor. None of them tried to find out information regarding to fraud. The next point is factors contributed to fraud. Now the question arises, why PwC or auditors involved in Satyam fraud, or which make them to contribute, or what make them to contributed in fraud and hide the real picture of the company. That is because greed. They are in greed of money, as Satyam Computers was paying double of their original income. They want to be successful ambitious corporate growth around corporate area. Corporate area, and the other factor is audit failure. They don't want to fail in their auditing journey. They have prestigious name of their company, and even they want to grow more rather than to fail in internal and external auditing. Some more factors are excessive interest in maintaining stock prices, executive incentives, stock market expectations, and nature of accounting rule, etc. Now, my friend Sakshi will continue.
Thank you, Soumya. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sakshi Malvya, and I am going to tell about the aftermath of the Satyam scandal. The accounting fraud have significant consequences for the organization. So, when the fraud is revealed, the Bank of America and Credit Suisse terminated its engagement with Satyam. As the role played by PwC, its license to operate was revoked, and the creditors became cautious of those companies who were the clients of PwC because it resulted in fall in the share price of around 100 companies by 5 to 15%. Also, the benchmark Sensex index fell more than 5%, and Satyam shares fell more than 70%. It means that before the revelation of the fraud in 2008, its share price was rupees 544, and as soon as the fraud was revealed on January 10, 2009, its share price fell to rupees 11.50, which shows that the share price fall by rupees 532.50. In 2001, Satyam was also listed in the New York Stock Exchange, and in 2008, its revenue crosses $2 billion. So when before the fraud, that is in 2008, Satyam shares peak at US $29.10, and after the fraud, it fell to USD 1.80. It shows that the share price fall by $27.3, and investors also lost $2.82 billion in Satyam. So after the fraud was revealed, the government appointed new board for Satyam to try to save the company. And India's government directly limited its participation participation with Satyam because it does not wanted to appear like it was responsible for the fraud. Also, the main goal of the board was to sell the company within 100 days, for which the board have to devise a plan for sale, and they met with bankers, accountants, lawyers, and government officials. So, in order to accomplish the sale, the board hired Avendus Capital and Goldman Sachs and charged them with selling the company in the shortest time span. Then, mid March mid-March 2009, several major players in the IT field have gained confidence with Satyam's operation, and they participated in its auction process. On April 13, 2009, the auction took place of Satyam, for which the SEBI appointed uh, uh, former Justice Barucha, to oversee the process. And the winning bidder, Tech Mahindra, took Satyam for rupees for dollar 1.13 per share, which is less than one third of the market stock market value. So now Satyam, being the part of Tech Mahindra, is now on its way towards a bright future. Now my friend Karishma will take over the presentation to the next slide.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karishma Dhankani, and I'm going to tell you about investigation who were arrested as Mr. Ramalinga Raju revelation about the accounting. As Mr. Ramalinga Raju revelation about the accounting fraud, the Indian government immediately started an investigation. Indian authorities arrested several different groups of people involved with Satyam. First, Mr. Ramalinga Raju, the chairman and founder of Satyam. Second, Mr. Raju's brother, Mr. B. Rama Raju, managing director of Satyam. Third, Srinivas Vadmlani, the chief financial officer of Satyam. They also arrested and charged several of company's auditor. Central Bureau of Investigation also investigate the CEO's overseas assets. Criminal charges were brought against Mr. Raju. Criminal conspiracy, breach of trust, and forgery. Next slide, please. Now, who were the victims? Some of the main victims are employees. Employees of Satyam were anxious, and they faced non-payment of salaries. Many projects were cancelled, layoffs, and equally bleak prospect of employment opportunities. Second, clients. Clients of Satyam expressed loss of trust and reviewed their contracts. They switched to go with other competitors. Several global clients like Cisco, Telstra, and World Bank cancelled their contracts. Customers were also worried about the project continuity, confidentiality, and cost overrun. Third, shareholders. Shareholders lost their valuable investment, and there was doubt about revival of India as preferred investment destination. Fourth, bankers. Bankers were also concerned about the recovery of financial and non-financial exposure. Fifth, Indian government. Indian government was worried about its image of the nation and IT sector affecting faith to investor to do business in the country. Now Aditi will take further.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna explain about what is corporate governance issue with Satyam scandal, and corporate governance after Satyam scandal. First, we look what is corporate governance. Corporate governance provide the guidelines how the company can be directed and controlled in such a manner that they can achieve its goals and objectives, and it add to the value of the company, and it is beneficial for stakeholders. Stakeholder in this case includes everyone from managing director, management, customers, employees, society, and everyone. Business transparency. Business transparency is the key for promoting the shareholder trust. Uh, uh, Corporate governance is the criteria is an important criteria for the investor, including the foreign investor, for taking the investment decision in any of the company. It is the responsibility of the corporate governance to conduct the business in an ethical manner with integrity and fairness, and be accountable for all their shareholders. Now we will look the corporate governance issue within Satyam scandal in Satyam Computers. On quarterly basis, the Satyam grew its earning. Mr. Raju admitted that the fraud was nearly about $276 million. Satyam even violated all the rules of corporate governance. If we look, the Satyam was the best example for following the poor corporate governance. Yeah, it is the best example. They even failed to show the good relationship with their stakeholders and even with the employees. Main reason corporate governance issue arose in Satyam Computer was uh, they uh, they uh, mm, they because of the non-fulfillment of the obligation towards their stakeholder. If we talk about some interests that should be taken care are distinguishing the role of management and the board of directors first, second, separation of CEO and chairman, appointment of board, protection towards the rights of shareholders and their executives, etc. As we all know, shareholder has the right to get all the information from their organization where they invest their money. But in the case of Satyam, this above obligation has never been fulfilled by the company. When the Satyam purchase the Mathis infrastructure and property, that were announced without the consent of the shareholders, and shareholders were provided with the non inflated financial reports, and the shareholders in Satyam were cheated. When the organization reputation collapsed, the main impact was to the employees' job. It is very difficult when this fraud occurred. It is very difficult for employees for their future, because it questioning the credibility of the management. This uh, uh, this fraud aroses the this fraud brought the focus to multiple flaws of corporate governance. First is the fraudulent accounting, dubious role of the auditors, unethical conduct, non disclosure of the pledged share, and failure of independent directors and effective boards. Corporate governance after the scandal has to be in conformity. Corporate governance after the scandal has to be in conformity with the amended Companies Act and with the other guidelines. This scandal exposed the role of dishonest and external auditors too, and it forced the government to provide for check and balances. In addition, I want to say that corporate governance framework need to be first of all strengthened and then implemented it in a letter as well as in a right spirit. इवन दो कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस जो है वो पूरी तरीके से जो अनएथिकल एक्टिविटीज जो टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट करते हैं उनको कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकती है, बट दे कैन एक्ट एज अ मीन्स ऑफ डिटेक्टिंग सच एक्टिविटी बिफोर इट इज टू लेट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ एक रोटन एप्पल है इन अ बास्केट, when the rotten apple in the basket, there is no cure, but अगर वो rotten apple को remove कर दिया जाए before it infected the whole basket, it is beneficial. This is what real effective governance is about. This much from my side. Over to Anvesh.
Good afternoon to everyone. Myself Anvesh, and I will tell you about the lessons we have learned from the Satyam scandal. The first one is inaccuracy should be investigated. Fraud at the Satyam was at a very small and eventually grown to $276 million. Small changes in the financial statement are less likely to be discovered and also overlooked. A lot of companies got a message that every irregularity in the financial statement should be checked properly, and dividing the responsibility among the team of people makes it easier to detect the fraud. Second one is ruined reputations. Fraudulent financial reporting does not only have bad consequences for an organization but also for the country. This type of fraud will make future foreign investors think twice before investing in this type of the country. After this scandal, the value of rupee fell. White collar crimes like this do not only make the company look bad, but also the industry and the country. Third one is the better corporate governance. Corporate governance is a combination of rules, process, or laws by which a business is operated. A board of directors is the person who sets the tone of the company, so all the companies should be careful before choosing the top executives. Splitting up the role can save you from these type of situations. The corporate governance framework needs to be implemented in the letter as well as spirit. That's it for now the conclusion part. In this case, Mr. Raju decided to falsify the Satyam's accounting even though it was a fraudulent act. He lied to Satyam's employee, shareholder, stakeholders, and the Indian government. This behavior should not be tolerated. When Mr. Raju decided to falsify Satyam's accounting, he acted unethically. When Satyam investor cautioned his action, Mr. Raju finally decided to take an ethical approach by admitting to fraudulent accounting. However, this was not enough to counter his unethical behavior. Raju should have admitted to financial losses when they occurred and figured out a way to grow honestly. In this type of case, the need for a skilled professional increases that can identify, expose, and prevent structural weakness in three key areas: poor corporate governance, flawed internal controls, and fraudulent financial statements. There has been no scam that affected the CA and the audit firms like the Satyam scam. PwC India fined 7.5 million, which was described as the highest American penalty against a foreign accounting firm. The increasing nature of these scams has made dependence on such professionals much more crucial, highlighting the importance of ethics and CG in their roles. To avoid this, a company needs to strictly follow a proper system of corporate governance and rotating the auditors every couple of years. The Indian government in the Satyam case took very quick action to protect the interest of investors, safeguard the credibility of India. The increasing rate of white-collar crimes demand stiff penalties and punishments. The small distortion created by a few immoral executives led far-reaching negative consequences. Hopefully, creating an awareness to the large consequence of small lies may help someone to avoid this trap. That's it from me and my team. And thank you everyone for your patience.